Good morning, everyone. The slide I always start with is the following. More than half of the energy that we consume on planet Earth is in the form of heating and cooling. It's larger than electricity and transport combined, and we feel it's lagging in innovation and digitization. Now, that's what we focus on with Gradyent. Everywhere where you produce heating or cooling in a different location than where you consume it, you need a heating network in the form of a pipeline to transport water or steam to use it in a different location. There's 3 types of heating and cooling networks out there that we work for. There's district heating. It's a 160 billion global market. District cooling is 30 billion, but growing very fast in the Middle East, in Southeast Asia, China. And finally, there's industrial steam networks, which is a whopping 2 trillion global market. It's all the energy that is being used in the form of heating by different industrial sites. Now, there is 3 or 4 trends actually that support digitization of these heating networks. First of all, increasing fuel costs and CO2 prices. Secondly, there's a push for electrification, so there's a big flexibility opportunity within these heating grids that can be unlocked. There's an aging workforce, and as these networks become more complex, it's important that we can automate things further, and there's overall, of course, a push for technology and digitization. Now, let's zoom in a little bit on the first trend of, rising fuel costs and decarbonization. So a typical heating or cooling network, any of the 3 categories that I mentioned, typically looked historically like this. So you have a large boiler or chiller producing the heat or the cooling from burning gas or coal or something similar. Temperatures are very high, and the network is relatively simple. But if you now want to switch off this fossil-fueled heat or cool source, and you want to optimize and decarbonize these systems, then the system will start looking a little bit like this. So you see the big boiler switched off, and it is replaced by maybe a heat pump, maybe multiple heat pumps. Then you probably want to introduce also a buffer to manage the variability. Maybe you will add some solar thermal, maybe you have waste heat from industry, and it can continue. And this is really what you see happening throughout Europe. These are the types of heating networks that you see that are much more complex to design and to operate. Now, let's talk a bit further about the complexity that this brings. So the heating and cooling networks are becoming more complex, so they become more interconnected, there are more interdependencies, they need more coordination, and data is not abundant, right? There's a lot of data out there, but in fact the quality is low, sensors can be broken, and therefore you need first principles physics to really make sense out of these systems. Now, every system is unique, and you need a lot of customization. Now, the current solutions, in short, fail to do this. They're point solutions, they're focused on electricity, big data approaches don't really work if you only do it in that way. Now, we've developed a digital twin solution that does real-time control and optimization and design and simulation, and the core point is that it does include physics-based algorithms to run these systems. Now, on the left, you see the type of impact that we have. We work for some of the major district heating customers throughout Europe, and also for a few very large chemical players in the harbor of Rotterdam, and we want to really grow that business line. Now, before we started, some of you actually, I think in this room or here today said, well, it's challenging to sell to utility, to sell software to utility. Sales cycles are long, you need a bespoke solution, they want to have CapEx deals, it's difficult to SaaS, etc. It's all true. But we've been able to really turn it around into a profitable business model with a scalable, configurable platform. We work with the customers to help shape tenders, and once you win a tender, you really are locked in a very good way. We have very long enterprise deals, which have 5 years or longer. We push for a subscription model, and we maximize the lifetime value. We have no churn until now, and we are expanding year on year our business with these customers. This has been our growth trajectory. We've grown 3-fold last year. We plan to do the same this year. We would end probably this year at about 8 million ARR. That's our ambition. And we're looking for Series B for the following 3 objectives. First of all, continue our exponential growth in Europe to profitability. We want to accelerate our industrial heating business and are looking for investors that can support us with that. And we do want to expand outside of Europe to North America, Middle East, and China. The round size we expect will be probably around 20 to 25 million euros. And we want to start a fundraising the fourth quarter of this year, so say around the summer. Thank you very much.